Hey everybody, Monica King here. I just got back from out in the garden and one of my favorite plants is Calendula. So basically this one is a new orange pink color. You can get them in a few different colors, orangish and yellows kind of thing. Some of them are variants of those different shades, if you would. The bees absolutely love them. They do gather a lot of pollen off of the calendula. But what I find amazing is that this is an herb that goes way back. I mean, this is something that's been being used medicinally since prior to medieval times. So calendula, the petals, basically they were also used as a coloring. So if you wanted to dye something yellow, you would use calendula petals. So it's really, really cool. You could use it to dye fabrics and foods and cosmetics. And there actually is written documentation that women used to use it to color their hair even. I'm like, it's just crazy. I'm like, yellow. The original wild women wearing yellow hair. But they also, it was actually known for to be the Virgin, it was dedicated to the Virgin Mary. And so basically calendula or marigold is Mary's gold. So Virgin Mary, Mary's gold. So if you want to try to remember it that way, that's just another easy way to remember the calendula. So in 12th century, so there's a visionary that was actually even recommending it for poisoning and to clear scabies. Now, I don't know about the poisoning or how they would even go about that. I'm not going to get into that, but I do know that it's drunk as a tea even, and that calendula petals are considered poor man's saffron. So I actually know somebody in Globe, Arizona, that buys real saffron bulbs and actually harvests her own saffron right here in Arizona. So you can do it, but if you want a poor man's version of something just so simple to grow, you can grow calendula and then use the petals to make like yellow rice. So basically, there's another one. Oh, safflower. I've grown safflower before and used it in the place of saffron, but it really didn't give that really rich yellow color. It had a nice flavor, but I had made a like a hollandaise sauce almost for over a braised rabbit, which it would turn out absolutely delicious, but the color wasn't there because I didn't use real saffron. So during the American Civil War, marigold was used to control bleeding and infection. And when I'm talking marigold, I'm like pot marigold, calendula. And so this is just amazing. The more I read about this, the more I plant it for the bees. I never get around to picking the petals and preserving them for my own salves and things because I have friends and family members that make the salves for me. And so I'm like going, but the more I read about this, I'm like, this is really beneficial. And what if when the bees are taking this pollen back to their colonies, that this plant's benefits are actually helping the bees? I like to think that way, wouldn't you? So basically, there was also a homeopath in the British Army as a dressing one might need for any open wound or severe laceration. So it was applied topically a lot. So this is just a really quick rundown. So marigold is popular as healing, well researched, and safe unless you have an allergy to the daisy family. So It has anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antiviral. Boy, it's starting to sound like honey. You mix calendula and honey, you got a super healer. I don't know. But anyway, and works wonders on minor injuries, bites, skin infections, and inflammations, from abrasions and burns to bed sores, nappy rash, varicose veins, conjunctivitis, and corns. It's got all kinds of great, that's why people, you can go, and order or go to a farmer's market and usually find calendula salve being sold at most all farmers markets. Farmers know the benefit of having calendula salve around. So, though mainly used externally to control infection, to accelerate healing and reduce scarring, marigold or pot marigold calendula is also taken internally as a tea or tincture. Now this part, I didn't know. So I'm finding this is just awesome. It treats fungal infections, inflammatory conditions of the digestive system, and to detoxify the system in chronic skin disorders and reoccurring viral infections. So I'm like, this is just like, acupuncturists often use marigold as an antiseptic, wiping the skin with calendula tincture before inserting needles. This is like a super herb. If you're going to plant an herb, if you have a very, very small garden space and you're going to plant an herb for a medicinal use, this is it. This is super. So whether you buy the flowers or dry them yourself, store in a warm, dry place and use quickly, as when exposed to the air, they absorb moisture and readily soon will go moldy. Well, we're in southern Arizona. They might lose a potency, I might assume, because our air is extremely dry. But so, try to use them as you dry them. Cheaper and easier to grow than saffron. I've kind of mentioned this. Marigold petals have been called poor man's saffron and added to their color to rice, soups, dairy products, milk-based desserts, and cakes. If you make your own cheese, adding an infusion of the calendula petals to the curd will turn your cheese yellow. So cool. The depth of color depending on the strength. More simply, brighten up salads with a scattering of the orange calendula petals, or dry them to give winter color and potpourri. Like I said, this is like multiple use. So let me give you a little quick viewing of this again. It's so lovely. I mean, to not put it into your gardens would be such a shame. So this is just, like I said, just one of the colors that is available. I really like this one because it does have a variation, almost like a sunset color going on, and it says like pink surprise calendula. You can get multiple varieties, but this is the one that I put in, and I think I just planted about 15 of these, so I'm all excited. So, are you gonna put some calendula into your garden? Let me know.